Tonight, I'm talking to you guys about the past, the present, and the potential future of this great city. Now, a moment ago, I mentioned to you guys that this is the hub city, but I didn't say why. Like New York is the Big Apple, or Detroit is Motor City, Compton has its own nickname. It's the hub city. Hub, by definition, is a center of activity. It's where things come together. Geographically speaking, Compton is centered directly in the middle of several freeways. But what do you know about Compton? What do you know about this city that we're so proud to represent? I mean, we fight for it. Some died for it. Some killed for it. But what do you know about Compton? I mean, we go get it tattooed on our chest, Compton. It's on our backs, Compton. It's on our necks, it's Compton. But what do you know about Griffith Dickinson? Yeah, G.D. Compton. A white Methodist, devout Methodist man, happened to be a farmer that didn't learn to read until he was into his 30s. And he just so happened to be the head of a collective, a church, if you will. And this church had a building fund like any other church, any other collective. And it just so happened that Compton met a man that knew a man that was selling some land at a really, really good price. And catch was, he had to act fast. He had to move quick on the sale. And so he talked to his collective, and he convinced them into purchasing this land that no one had even seen. And so they purchased it. How many of y'all believe in y'all pastor that much that y'all just gonna purchase something that y'all we ain't never even seen? So they purchased the land, and they started to make this migration to Compton, or what we know as Compton. So they started from Stockton, California, 350 miles away, right here to this space that we know now as Compton. And they didn't take an Uber. It was horse and buggy. It was coach. And they took their time getting here. And it happened to be the middle of the winter. So when they finally got here, Compton was a swamp. It was trees, bushes, slush, slug everywhere, flooded out land. And these church people thought this is a good waste of our money. But they all were agriculturalists. And so the reason why Compton was flooded out at the time is because for over 100 years, the LA River overflowed. That overflow ran right into this area. And it did this every year for over 100 years. And as you could imagine, that water made the soil rich. So by the time the spring came around, the collective, they realized that soil is real rich. And these are agriculturalists, so they know what to do with rich soil. So for them, they struck gold. This was gold for them, because at the time, the world's leading industry was produce. This is what we did. So we got busy immediately and started growing produce all across the city, everywhere. So much produce that they started naming streets after the trees that they had produce on. Fig, I know, peach. Oh, you from there? Cherry, this whole area, and they called this area Fruit Town. Across the way, had all these tall trees, these trees that overlooked the whole city, where you can see these trees from anywhere in the city. They called this area Treetop. And if you're from Compton, you know what I'm talking about. Those areas are still in existence today. So now as we're making our name into this agricultural thing, we start getting competitive with it. We enter the World's Fair. And we started winning this World's Fair. Three-peats, back to back to back. We got the biggest squash, the biggest pumpkin, biggest cow, And the whole world is just knowing us as this agricultural land. We're making a name for ourselves. And you know what happens with that? You start making a name for yourself in the business. You know what comes next? You start getting money. So Compton started gaining this money, and they started to spread the wealth a little bit. So you get more money, start buying more land. And they bought a whole bunch of land. And they ran into another collective, Methodist collective. They wanted to start a university, college university. And so Compton and his group said, hey, well, let's donate some land. And to this day, that university is one of the most prestigious universities in the land. That university that I'm talking about is the University of Southern California. Yeah. USC was a donation from the city of Compton. Big facts. So let's fast forward a little bit. In 1903, in December, the Wright brothers created the first airplane. 7 short years later, Compton hosts the first aeronautical air show in the world, right here in Compton, at the Dominguez Airfield. At this time, we're booming, y'all. This is the place to be. We got money, we got land, we're hosting big events. Where else would you want to be? Like, we literally are turning a swamp into an affluent community. I mean, we got beautiful homes, agriculture, equestrians, water wells, colleges, parks, schools. We got it all. Somewhere around the 1950s, they started to allow people of color to purchase homes in suburban communities, Compton being one of them. And over time, those demographics change. So you have black and brown people coming into the city, and now they start to exercise their right to vote, because this is the civil rights movement. This is when that's happening. And so they exercise their rights to vote, and they elect the first black mayor this side of the Mississippi. His name was Douglas Dollarhide, and you so happen to be sitting in a building that's named after him. Now, Mayor Dollarhide, he started bringing in the first black everything. He brought in the first black police chief, Tom Cochet. He brought in the first black fire chief, Monroe Smith. He even brought in the first black superintendent, Dr. Alonzo King, Krim. And if you look around, we have all these reasons to be happy about where we come from. You realize that this soil has produced not just great produce, but great people. And not just people of the past, even our modern day people. Dr. Dre, NWA, Kendrick Lamar, Venus and Serena Williams, Ava DuVernay, Tyson Chandler, Tayshaun Prince, Maxie Fowler, Judge Kelvin Fowler. I mean, I could really do this all day long. Now, all these reasons is the reasons why we have to be proud in the city of Compton, to have pride. But for so long, we've had the false sense of pride. We used to yell Compton because it sound hard, sound tough. It garners respect. It strikes fear in the hearts of people. But that pride that we took in that determined how we treated our neighbors. It affected how we treated our community. It also affected how people view our community. Sometimes how we view ourselves. That's the thing about not knowing your past. Because at some point, we just didn't know who we were. So it's interesting when you know your past, you realize your past can kind of dictate sometimes where you're at today. And maybe where you could even go in the future. So let's talk future, right? Let's talk the future of Compton. I want you guys to imagine with me. Let's clean up the city. Let's start here. And, and let me just start. Let me say this first because you guys know I'm the councilman. Imagine no potholes. Let me get that out the way first. No potholes. Trim trees. No graffiti. No trash. Let's just start there. That's the basics. Now, imagine this community being a tourist location, a tourist attraction. Why couldn't it be? We got a lot of celebrities that come from here. Several Compton celebrities. Plenty of reasons to come here. Imagine walking down Compton Boulevard and you see stars embedded in the sidewalk. Those stars represented another story from the city of Compton, another success story. We can tell stories of people like DJ Quick, Joey Davis, Alonzo Williams, Doris Davis. I mean, I can tell you, I can keep going. We can do this. It's a lot of names we can go through, and it's because this community has produced that much. Imagine your favorite celebrity coming back to the city and starting their own business, creating businesses and opportunities, building up the economic development here in Compton. Would you go to Kendrick Lamar's jazz bar? What about Dr. Dre's skating rink? What about Paul Rodriguez's comedy show? Marcellus Wiley's cigar and sports lounge? Ava DuVernay's film studio? Lisa Leslie's all-girls basketball camp? I mean, we can have that here in Compton. Who wouldn't want to visit those places? Are you guys visualizing this with me? Imagine if we just had murals that reminded our community of our rich agricultural history. Remind the world that we hosted the first World's Fair. Told our kids about our own great migration from Stockton to Compton. Tell JB that needs to be on the t-shirt. Imagine having murals that taught us about Black and brown relations, that brought unity. Why couldn't I see a Montezuma sitting at a table with a Shaka Zulu having a meal, breaking bread? Why aren't we showing that? Why can't we just have murals that just simply reflect love? This is the future that I'm determined to see. And even if I go blind, I promise you I'm gonna see it through. Every day, we need to work on getting better. We need to ask ourselves, what can we do to make our community better? This is an individual effort. It's not just on a council or your government board. Everybody can play a part in making their community better. Look around at other communities. There's nothing that they can do that you can't do better. Better yet, there's nothing that you can't do that you can't do better. So my question is to you again, what is it that you're going to do to make a difference in your community? How do you change your community? Together, we can change every urban community in America, not just Compton, every urban community. I think it's something that we all can do is just simply treat our neighbors with love and compassion. And we can just start there. My name is Andre Spicer. This has been my TED Talk. I appreciate y'all. Peace and love.